Hello dear friends, and welcome to my channel. My name is Paulina, and here on my channel it is all about fragrances. In today's video I'm going to be talking about new releases on the market, and I'm going to start with two fragrances from the house of Jo Malone. And the first fragrance I'm going to talk about is called Aqua Lemon. The top note is mandarin, the middle notes are lemon, petitgrain and mint, and in the base cedar wood. Very fresh, refreshing, for my taste more feminine fragrance. If you're familiar with the fragrances from the house of Jo Malone, you know that these fragrances are not very famous for their longevity, and this is for me an essential disadvantage for these fragrances, because I don't like fragrances that don't last at all. I barely smell this piece of paper, but I can detect some citrusy direction, some fresh note of the mint. For my taste more feminine, but of course these fragrances are listed as unisex. Quite pleasant and very nice for the spring and summer if you are not disturbed by the missing longevity of this fragrance. Another new release from this house is Salty Amber. The top notes are sea notes, the middle note is cardamom, and the base amber and patchouli. This fragrance, although it is listed as unisex, this fragrance goes for my taste more in the masculine direction. It is very refreshing, aquatic scent. The longevity of this fragrance is a little bit better than the previous one, but still on my skin these fragrances don't last at all. This one is pleasant because of the salty sea note, very refreshing, as though you would walk on the seashore and breathe this sea wind coming from the ocean, from the sea. Very pleasant, and I would love to smell something like that from a man. So very interesting fragrances, although the longevity is not quite pleasant. Another fragrance that I got my hands on, I have it on tissues like this, is from the house of Byredo, and it's called Vanille and Tick. The top notes are plum and musk. The middle notes are woody notes and labdanum, and in the base vanilla and amber. The consultant from the shop recommended this scent for me as a spring and summer scent, summer fragrance. I can't agree with her, because this scent is very warming and spicy for my taste, and I could imagine wearing like that in winter. So what I imagine smelling this fragrance. Do you remember the new release of Jean Paul Gaultier, La Belle? So this is very similar, although in La Belle pear note is predominant. Here is the plum, but the direction is quite similar. So imagine this fragrance with an opulent fruity note, an opulent predominant vanilla note, which already goes in a little bit bitter direction because of the sweetness and vanilla. So this is similar, plus another herby note. For my I would say that the vetiver is listed here, but it's not. Probably is the labdanum and the woody note. So for my taste, although it is listed as unisex, for my taste it goes more in the masculine direction. And even if for me it is an evening scent, I couldn't imagine this wearing in the office during my work hours. It is a winter warming scent, quite sweet, with a little bit bitter undertone going on because of vanilla. Quite pleasant. The longevity was astonishing. So the juice in the bottle is also quite intense. So I think Vanille and Tick is quite interesting for those who prefer vanilla scents. So probably you would like it if you like vanilla with also quite predominant woody notes. Quite pleasant. The next fragrance that I fell in love with is the new release of the house of Carolina Herrera, and it's called Very Good Girl Glam. It's the flanker of the release of the original Very Good Girl from the last year. So the notes are slightly different here in the new release, which comes in an astonishing, beautiful pink bottle. The notes are slightly different. The cherry note is listed here and the bitter almond. In the middle, rose and lily, and in the base, vetiver and vanilla. Oh, this is so sexy. This one is going to be a man killer, a head turner. It is so sexy, it is so sensual. Comparing this one to the previous release, to the original Very Good Girl, I can say that this girl has grown up. This is girly, fruity berry in the beginning, like a red currant, very girly, very you know, bright and delightful, and you know, a little bit carefree and you know, very light. This one is more mature. This one is more sensual, is more sexy, is more creamy. It has this fruity, naughty undertone going on, but this is more of a mature sensuality. It is sweet with a little bit of the bitter undertone going on because of the bitter almond. And the rose, I think the rose is predominant note here. The rose goes in a lipsticky, creamy direction. So this one is more sour, girly, is more naughty, and this one is more creamy, more sensual, more sexy. Whereas this one is a spring and summer fragrance for my taste. This one I would probably prefer for the autumn and winter because of the sweetness and, you know, this creaminess. I quite like this one. And the last fragrance that I got my hands on is the new release from the house of Narciso Rodriguez, the new flanker from the Narciso line, and this one is called Eau de Parfum Cristal. As I sprayed it on my skin, I was quite surprised. I didn't expect this scent from the house of Narciso Rodriguez. From the first sniff, it is about white flowers. And white flowers are listed here. Freesia, orange blossom, bergamot in the top. In the middle, musk, jasmine, rose and white flowers. And in the base, cedar, cashmere, benzoin and amber. For my taste, this is just like a wave of white flowers, predominant, intense. If you like jasmine, if you like freesia in fragrances, if you prefer those notes, you're going to like this fragrance. For my taste, this one is quite different from the previous releases from the Narciso line with, you know, musk and woody notes. Here it's very floral. It's about florals, it's about white flowers. It's just like a opulent bouquet of different white flowers, and you are just a little bit overwhelmed of this floral, of this floral wave. In the dry down, though, the fragrance resembles the previous releases of the Narciso line even more because of the dry down. In the dry down, the woody notes and the musk, they become more predominant, more intense, and only in the dry down you could detect that this fragrance has Narciso DNA. So quite different for my taste, from my opinion, Please share with me your thoughts about these new releases. Did you try them? How did you like them? I think my favorite from these new releases is the very good girl Glam. I wasn't quite convinced by the new Narciso. Okay, these were my thoughts about the new releases of 2022. Please share with me your opinion about the new releases if you tried them. I thank you for your attention and see you soon in the next video. Bye bye!